through it. ClassicMetal taking, we'll see. He takes Fox for his last pick. That'll be the exact same build he took last time. Maybe reconsidering a little bit.
He doesn't seem all too concerned with tier 3s. He seems to like focusing on that Squirrel Falcon play. He did pick up Snakes, I think, in that game, quite later on, but he really likes the Squirrel Falcon combo. And it's going to be interesting to see what AV goes with here.
Yeah, AV...
I think he's maybe rethinking his strategy here.
AV hesitating a little bit, maybe trying to figure out how he can change strategy and deal with this seemingly dominant strategy from ClassicMetal. I mean, he could go all the way with this.
I think it's just a lot of players seem to think that maybe, oh, it's just a noobish build. You know, I can just deal with it. I've got loads of experience. I know how to deal with Squirrel builds. But it's just not that simple, really. He's playing it really effectively, and you have to be so careful against that kind of build, because that will just completely burst you down. Those Squirrels have massive damage, and those Falcons, great burst, and the Falcons are really awful to deal with. Like, you can pick Skunks, but then that's absolutely useless against the Falcons. Absolutely useless.
I'm surprised again that AV Ultima hasn't taken those Skunks. I think that's really what he needs right now. We've seen, you know, how effective Skunks can be against Squirrels.
But the problem is that once that happens, ClassicMetal just goes up to like 10 Falcons.
True.
It's ridiculous. Okay, so going into game 2, we got ClassicMetal to the west side of the map in purple, AV Ultima to the south in green. They're very close by. And there's a road as well.
Yeah, there's roads going right to those bases. Potential, well, no, not potential contain. There's too many ways to get out of this base for anybody to contain either one. But that base on the hill there is going to be very, very important staging area for both players to defend, either with structures or with units of their own. And expansions dotted all around the map. We'll see who's able to get out and claim them. I'm going to toggle that dual commander visibility right now so you can see what the commanders are seeing.
It's interesting. I think this one might end fairly quickly, potentially. But just because of the sheer short distance between those two expansions, units recruiting are going to come back really fast. And I think this is the sort of situation where ClassicMetal actually really does shine. He really likes those tier 1s, and those tier 1s reinforce so quickly. And with short-range fight like this, that really matters.
ClassicMetal on 6 farms into 2 Squirrel Warrens, AV Ultima on 5 or 6 farms himself with Lizards, and that's going to help in that early game. And we can't forget that a few patches ago, AV Ultima was famed for his early game play. You know, he had that mean 5 or 6 farm Warren that he loved to play. He could, you know, keep reinforcing his army. We'll see if that comes into play here. The patches are a little bit different. Twitch chat doesn't even know who to vote for. It's completely split 50-50 over who's going to win this Game 2 of the semifinals of July Joust.
ClassicMetal certainly proved that he's no newbie. He can't be messed with. He is a dominant force here. And he's going straight up to 12 Squirrels. He really likes doing this. He really loves those Squirrels.
As here they come. So he's claimed that high ground there, at least for the moment. One Lizard taking one shot before fleeing away. Those Lizards, of course, have that high ground advantage now. Just to show you what that means, here's what AV Ultima is seeing. You can see as soon as he steps off that high ground, he can no longer see up there. So the Lizards are going to be at a disadvantage, as they are not ranged.
I think both players are just going to focus on army right now. Neither of them can afford to try and get an expansion, because then that puts them quite far behind the opponent in tier 1 power. ClassicMetal up to 18 Squirrels soon. AV Ultima going to go up to 12, and then 6 Lizards. So they're going to even out. AV Ultima has got a turret down. He did just sell it in favour of more Squirrels, but that might be a little bit too late. ClassicMetal's already got quite a few Squirrels.
It's going to go up to 21 Squirrels to AV Ultima's 15 plus 6 Lizards. I don't know if those Lizards, or how those Lizards are going to do. They might just get bursted down before the Squirrels in the back can do any kind of help. Again, you can see how much damage AV Ultima took. That was 20 damage in one shot, 30 damage in one shot, in one volley of Squirrels.
ClassicMetal's going to go in now. Now that AV's dead, he just took out quite a few Lizards there in that fight. And if he can take down even a single Warren, that's a massive blow, because that severely cripples the reinforcement power. But ClassicMetal kind of gets caught out there. With those squirrels, he just gets surrounded. He overextended.
He's overextended. He's got 4 squirrels out on the field. AV Ultima has 8 with 2 lizards coming on the way. AV Ultima has to do something right now to try and push back at ClassicMetal. There goes 1 Warren down. He's got to do a little bit more, though.
It's really tough to actually win once you're on the offensive, because all those Warrens tank that damage, and it really splits up your damage, and the enemy squirrels can really dominate. And look, ClassicMetal's actually got an expansion now. So he's working an expansion alongside this. AV Ultima also has an expansion, but it's nowhere near as easy to get to.
He's got
off to the side.
Burrow in every time he wants to build something up there. ClassicMetal going up to 9 farms. We're at 4 minutes and 20 seconds right now, which means in about 40 seconds, those first 4 farms at each base that's a main are going to be farmed out after 5 minutes, of course.
ClassicMetal spots that base, but that gives AV Ultima a chance to come in and attack ClassicMetal. He knew. Oh, okay, this is an interesting fight. Here we go.
All right, squirrels going down. That's a lot of squirrels for ClassicMetal. 9 squirrels left, 2 squirrels. I think ClassicMetal is going to come out barely on top here. Oh, maybe not.
Oh, AV Ultima came out on top.
1 squirrel left for AV Ultimate. Neither player has enough force to do anything with that. ClassicMetal is going to go back and throw another farm down on that base. We'll see. I think AV Ultima should have left ClassicMetal to go attack that northern base. That would have left ClassicMetal's entire economy open. I think he jumped out a little bit too early. He's going to go in now.
I don't think ClassicMetal's never going to go for that. Oh, no, but ClassicMetal's going for it right now, and AV Ultimate's going to bring his army behind him. Classic's going to get destroyed here. His entire army's going to go down.
Alright, those farms are gone. Looks like his units got a few hits out on ClassicMetal before they were able to get a shot in. So ClassicMetal actually on 3 squirrels right now. 4 to AV Ultima's 9. Down 1 squirrel Warren down. Is this going to be enough? ClassicMetal on 6 farms, AV Ultima on 4. Has this given AV Ultima enough of an advantage to push ClassicMetal back?
I don't know. I mean, taking out those Warrens is a big deal, but on the flip side, AV Ultima lost 2 of those farms that he was working on. That is also a big deal. I couldn't possibly call it here.
Alright, 5 farms to 3 right now. Look at the army value graph. AV Ultimate does have the advantage right now. We'll see if he decides to use that advantage, whether he scouts his opponent's army. He's going to go ahead and build another farm up in that northern base. If he can hold off, he might be able to out-eco ClassicMetal, but again, 4 farms to 2 right now.
So there's enough fight in the midfield.
Here we go. Main base, nobody's
AV
playing
Ultima
that
wins it.
ClassicMetal losing all of his army. AV Ultima going to start to work on those Warrens there, and I don't think ClassicMetal has enough food to reinforce his army. Still 6 squirrels alive. Warren after Warren going down, and it looks like ClassicMetal is going to lose the game 2 of this semifinals. The last Warren going down. ClassicMetal trying to build a sniper balloon. I think it's going to come out in time though.
Easily.
There it goes.
That was a really interesting game, actually. Seeing that neither player could really ever build their Recon too much, because they just couldn't take time to step away from the short-range Tier 1 fight. Like, no Tier 2s were built, barely any farms on the expansions, and we saw that AV Ultima taking down those enemy Warrens was actually a bigger deal than ClassicMetal crippling his economy.
Alright, it's actually being pointed out right now that the game isn't quite over yet. Both players on very, very few farms. Oh, okay, well, AV Ultima on 5 squirrels right now, so he just had to wait for his force to build up a little bit before he could finish these off. But those pigs, even though they only do a little bit of damage, enough to ward off the couple squirrels that were going there. So here we go,
Yeah,
AV
I think
Ultima
at this point, it's pretty much over.
coming in for the killing blow, destroying that last rebuild Warren, and there we go. Taking game 2. Semifinals. Best of 5.